very difficult. So today we are going to begin your module 2, which is focusing on transmission characteristics of optical fiber, which mainly deals with losses and fiber connectors. So you can see we'll begin with the transmission characteristics, dealing with the basic types of losses here. So two types of losses are there as far as the syllabus is concerned. But basically, what we mean by this uh, loss as far as optical fiber is concerned. So one thing we know that basically when you are going to transmit the information, long distances are involved, and with the advent of this optical fiber, the cables have been dig and laid to a very long distance, covering long haul communication, that is a large geographical areas. So covering thousands and thousands of kilometers. The transmission paths are not straightforward. Many peaks, curves will be there, and many hurdles will be there when they have laid the cable. So many difficulties will be there, may be faced by the message signal what you are transmitting. So in order to deal with to maintain the constant power of the information that what you transmitted at the transmitter side should be maintained at the same level till it will reach the receiver. Then, owing to the long distance gap between the transmitter and receiver, we need to include the repeaters. And as I already mentioned and discussed few times in the last classes, installing the repeater is a costly affair as far as the communication dealing company is concerned. Repeaters. So you have to invest crores of monies in order to install one repeater. So the loss is going to matter much here, and also the distance between the transmitter and receiver. So there is a trade-off between this kind of loss in optical fiber, the signal loss in the optical fiber, how much it is happening for every kilometer, loss in terms of decibels for every kilometer, and what is the distance involved between the transmitter and the receiver. So these two things are going to decide how much money the one company should invest on its repeaters, how many numbers repeaters it need to have. So the number of repeaters depends on the distance between the transmitter and receiver, or how much geographical area they want to do the business or to capture the market or customers. And as the second thing, the signal loss. So this signal loss basically depends on the quality of the optical fibers. So what kind of optical fibers you are using and many other aspects that we are going to see today. So now to understand a little bit deeply about these things, so let us look into two types of losses which are actually accounted for the signal loss in the optical fiber. One is attenuation. Attenuation means a decay of signal strength. So you can see here it is a decay of signal strength or loss of light power. So that occurs as light pulses propagate through the length of the fiber. See, now he is using light pulses, not light, as the propagation is happening inside the optical fiber. Means our light is no longer will exist as light or wave. Now it will be in the form of pulses, wave pulses, or you can say light pulses. So once we'll get the light pulses from the light, then we cannot expect we'll be having the same strength for all the pulses. And moreover, the transmission of message is happening with the help of the phenomena that is a TR. And that is a main emphasis for the operation of optical fiber or the popularity of the optical fiber. Of course, that will not be contributing for the loss. Reflection it is happening, that doesn't mean that it is undergoing dispersion or refraction. It is a total internal reflection. Hope it is not going to contribute the loss. That is a total internal reflection. We cannot say that one. That is a very well established principle. So attenuation means it is a decay of the signal strength, not total loss of the light. So in optical fibers, the attenuation is mainly caused by two factors. One, uh, the attenuation he is telling it is mainly caused by two reasons, factors. One is absorption, and second one is scattering loss. Absorption is because of the fiber material. It is concerned with the uh, what kind of material is the fiber is made up of, and scattering is due to the structural imperfection within the fiber. So 90% of total attenuation is called by Rayleigh scattering only. This is a very important sentence. We'll deal with these two types of losses under attenuation in detail later. So right now, remember attenuation means it is a reduction of the signal strength, decrease of the signal strength, loss of light power, and this may be accounted for the either fiber material like the absorption or structural imperfection, that is a scattering loss. 90% of the attenuation he is telling it is happening because of the structural imperfection, that is a scattering loss known as a Rayleigh scattering loss. Again, there are different types of scattering losses. In that, Rayleigh scattering is very important because you can see it is contributing 90% of the attenuation, and moreover it depends on the wavelength. So the Rayleigh scattering is wavelength dependent and reduces rapidly as wavelength increases. That is one plus point if you consider depending on the application. Suppose if you are using your light at a higher wavelengths, high wavelength technologies like in the previous problems we have seen 1320 or 1550 nanometer wavelength technologies. In that case, the Rayleigh scattering loss is going to be reduced because of the increase in wavelength. So in nutshell, the attenuation is actually governed by the materials that what we are using to manufacture or fabricate the optical fibers. Manufacturing process, what manufacturing process you are using, and refractive index profile. So these things are actually going to decide the total attenuation profile. So attenuation loss is normally measured in terms of decibels per kilometer. Okay. So now we are able to define what we mean by attenuation. That is a reduction or decrease in signal strength or light power that occurs as light pulses propagate through the optical fiber. Two types of factors are considered accounting for the attenuation. One is due to the absorption concerned with the fiber material. Another one concerned with the structural imperfection. So just roughly I want to give you the meaning of structural imperfection here. Suppose if you take for example, right now we have the idea of a planar guide and cylindrical guide, two types of optical fibers, maybe single mode step index or multi mode or whatever. We have planar and cylindrical guide or optical fibers. Structural imperfection means during manufacturing process or fabrication, we don't know in which step it is happening, not going much in deep about that. If you consider a planar guide, we'll assume it as a dielectric slab, rectangular or a square, and we'll assume that it is perfectly going to be rectangular or square throughout its length. We may have imperfection in the structure of this rectangular shape or square shape at particular regions, not throughout the length I'm talking. Because of this, scattering will happen. That is called scattering loss. That is attributed because of the structural imperfection. And this structural deformation, which is not so used even to appear with the bare eyes, but it is contributed by the manufacturing or fabrication process. We can say that we cannot get the ideal diode or ideal diode characteristics. Like that, we cannot produce ideal optical fibers which are ideally perfectly correct throughout its length. Here and there, some imperfection will be there as far as the structure or shape I am talking here of the optical fiber. So these are the two types of factors which are concerned with the attenuation. Absorption concerned with the material of the optical fiber, and second one scattering loss concerned with the structural deformation. So let us spare some time today with dealing with how this attenuation loss can be measured with the help of the unit that all we bear with, that is a decibels per kilometer. Attenuation units. So attenuation leads to loss of power along the fiber. So this loss, of course, it is happening because uh, the coupling may be not happening perfectly from transmitter to the optical fiber, or we are losing the signal strength throughout the distance, long haul distance from transmitter to receiver. It is propagating long distance. It is propagating, and again the coupling factor at both the sides, transmitter and receiver, with respect to the optical fiber communication medium. So long distance of the optical fiber medium and coupling issues at both the transmitter and receiver are accounted for this attenuation loss. This is the key point here. So output power is significantly less in such cases. You can see here. In such cases, the power what you are getting at the receiver side obviously is going to be less compared to what you transmitted. Let us assume that you are going to transmit the optical power at zero value, coordinate value. We call it as a z equal to 0. Okay. Why we are taking z equal to 0? Because we assumed that in x and y direction we got electric and magnetic field components orthogonally situated with each other, and the message or information will be there three-dimensional, that is orthogonal to both x and y. So now our information is starting at z equal to 0, from where we are going to transmit from the transmitter, and it is going to couple to your optical fiber. And let us assume the distance transverse will be z, at which your receiver will be situated. Okay. So let us assume that distance node between the transmitter and receiver will be z. Means you are transmitting the optical thing or light from 0 to z. Okay. So this will be given by P of z equal to, that is the power at the receiver, which is at the distance of z, equal to P of 0, that is at the transmitter side, into e to the power minus alpha into p to the power minus z. Okay. So alpha p sorry, alpha p is a constant here. It is attenuation constant measured per kilometer minus alpha p dot z. That is a direction factor, vector quantity. E to the power of minus alpha z, like this. Alpha p now is called. So alpha p is given by, that is attenuation constant measured per kilometer, attenuation constant. That is a 1 by z Napier logarithm p of 0 by p of z, or in terms of decibels per kilometer it will be 10 1 by z, that is the reciprocal of the distance inward, into logarithm of p of 0 by p of z, or it is in terms of per kilometer. So three versions are there. 4.343 alpha p per kilometer. You note down the unit, that is for alpha p it is going to be per kilometer. So the parameter known as a fiber loss or fiber attenuation is alpha p. That's what is known as a alpha p, fiber attenuation or fiber loss. So it is measured per kilometer, it is written as alpha p here. So either you can use Napier logarithm, decimal logarithm, or without any logarithms, you can also get it, depending on what has been given data is there in the particular numerical. Let us take, for example, a low loss fiber has average loss of a 3 dB per kilometer. Alpha is given, loss, average loss is 3 decibels of loss is happening for every 1 kilometer. At the optical wavelength, that is the wavelength of the light that what you are transmitting is 900 nanometer. You need to find the length over which the power is reduced by 50%. We need to find out the length and power decreased by 70%. Okay. So we have to find out Z here. So you can use the formula 10 1 by Z log decimal logarithm P of 0 by P of Z. Alpha is given that 3 dB per kilometer. You can substitute here 3, alpha is 3. That is equal to 10 1 by Z, 10 1 by Z as it is, log of P of 0 by P of Z. P of 0 by P of Z will have to get, that is 50% power is reduced compared to what the power has been transmitted. Means he has given the ratio of P of 0 by P of Z equal to 50%. That is a 0.5. You can directly substitute here. So if you simply resolve it by using calculator, you will get Z as 1 kilometer. Means if you transmit your optical power at 900 nanometer wavelength from Z equal to 0, by the time it will reach 1000 meter or 1 kilometer, its power will be reduced by 50%. Similarly, if the power is reduced by 75%, okay, so signal power decreased by 75. So P of 0 by P of Z means how much it is left. Sorry. Power decrease means how much it is left. That is P of 0 by P of Z. That is 50%, 50-50 it is there. So it is 75, power reduced means 25% left. So 50% means after 1 kilometer, 50% power is will be left. 75% lost means we left with 25%. That is P of 0 by P of Z is given by 25%, 0.25. So means after reaching 2 kilometer, will be left with 25% of the power. That is the meaning. Means 75% power has been lost. So this is how we have to interpret. So a little bit careful here. Would the power decrease by 70 or x%? It is the meaning it is 1 minus x% power left. So next one, for a 30 kilometer long fiber, now Z has been given now, reciprocal of the previous problem. 0.8 decibels for every 1 kilometer loss is happening with the wavelength that what you are using 1300 nanometers. If 200 microwatt power is launched, that is P of 0, transmitting power, find the output power. Very simple. So Z is given here 30 kilometer, alpha is given 0.8 dB per kilometer. So transmitting or initial power which has been launched into the fiber is given 200 micrometer. You can substitute all the things here. Alpha is given 0.8, 10 into 1 by Z. Z is given 30 kilometer. You can substitute 1 by 30. Log of P of 0, that is P of 0 is 200 micrometer divided by P of Z. Simply resolved by using calculator, you will get it as 0.8, roughly 0.8 microwatt. So how much you transmitted? 200 microwatt. And how much you are getting after 30 kilometers? It is only 0.8 microwatt. You can see how much power we are losing here at 1300 nanometers with 0.8 decibels of loss for every 1 kilometer. So by 30 kilometer, it will be 0.8 into 30. So we'll get how much it is? 0.8 into 30. So more than 20 plus decibels of loss. So that's how we are getting very much reduced power. So when mean next problem, when the mean optical power launched into an 8 kilometer length fiber, that is Z is now given 8 kilometer. Can see this is 12 microwatt. That is a initial transmitting power. Sorry, it is misprinted 120 microwatt. Correction, there is a not 12, it is 120 microwatt. The mean optical power at the output will be 3 microwatt. So find the overall signal attenuation, that is alpha, that is 10 log P of 0 by P of Z. You can substitute here. P of 0 is 120, P of Z is 3. So take 10 log of 40, you will get 16 decibels of attenuation. And also is asking the overall attenuation for 10 kilometer optical link. So 10 kilometer optical link means, so it is going to be overall attenuation for 10 kilometer attenuation per kilometer. We have to find out for every 1 kilometer how much it is happening, that we have to get first. That we can get. So this one total attenuation, overall attenuation, you got 16 dB divided by optical link, that is divided by Z. So initially he has given 8 kilometer in the first section. So divide 16 dB by 8, you will get 2 decibels of loss attenuation you are getting for every 1 kilometer. Now coming to the second section, the overall signal attenuation for 10 kilometer optical link. Optical link means it is the distance involved between the transmitter and receiver, that is called optical link, or link between two nodes you can take. Now we already know that there is a 2 dB of attenuation is happening for every 1 kilometer. Now attenuation we can get for 10 kilometer link will be 2 into 10. You will get total 20 decibels of attenuation for 10 kilometer optical link. Using the same fiber with the splices at 1 kilometer interval, each giving attenuation of 1 dB. How many splices you will get in 10 kilometer distance? How many splices you will get if you are going to put every 1 kilometer one splice? Are you getting here? Try to understand here first. Distance involved between the two nodes of the optical link will be 10 kilometer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that you can put and see how many splices you can get in between these two nodes. That will be 9. So that is a 9 dB because one splice will give you 1 dB of attenuation. And already we got 20 dB of attenuation because of the overall attenuation of 16 dB. That is 2 dB per kilometer. For 10 kilometer link you got 20 dB. And because of 9 splices, each splice producing 1 dB for every 1 kilometer will give you 9 dB, total 9 splices. So total attenuation you are getting 29 decibels. Are you understanding this one? If you have any doubt, you can ask now itself. This is one of the numerical has been asked in the video question paper. Okay. Next one, a continuous 12-kilometer long optical fiber link. The distance involved will be 12. There is Z equal to 12. Has loss of 1 dB. That is alpha is given 1 dB, 1.5 dB per kilometer. What is the minimum optical power level that must be launched into the fiber? So whenever you get this term, power launched into the fiber means it is a transmitting power. To maintain as optical power level 0.3 microwatt at the receiver means P of that is given. Maintain as optical power level 0.3 microwatt at the receiving end means it is launched power only he is giving and is arguing that he is able to maintain the same power up to the receiver. With this condition, what is the minimum optical power level is now asking. Let us see here. So that is alpha, it is given 10 1 by z log of P of 0 by P of z. Transmitting power it is zero point 0.3 and P of z we have to find out. Let us find out that he is arguing that he is maintaining 0.3 only microwatt, still he will reach the receiver and you can calculate, you will get it as P of 0 4.76 nanowatts, very much reduced. Okay, you can substitute the things here, don't go with these things, some manipulations are there here. You can simply put the values here. Alpha is 1.5, 10 1 by z. Z is a optical link distance, that is a 12. Log of P of z is a zero point 0.3 micro divided by P of z. After this, you simply solve it for P of z, you will get it as 4.76 nanowatt. So it is very much reduced. Means what he is arguing, it is wrong. We are not able to maintain the same optical power of 0.3 microwatt. And what is the required input power if the fiber has a loss of 2.5 dB per kilometer? In the previous one, we got the loss of attenuation of 1.5 dB. Now it has been increased by 1 dB, that is 2.5 dB per kilometer. Obviously, we'll have to get more power loss. That is now we are getting for in terms of input power, we are getting it as a microwatts. Like that, you can see, guys, you can go with many problems are there. Numericals are there in the notes. This one problem I want to you to understand. This one, another one problem. An optical power launched into the fiber transmitter and is 150 microwatt. That is P of 0 is given. The power at the end of 10 kilometer length Z of optical link working in first windows is 38.2 dB, 2 dBm, decibel meter. Another, this is the 1 unit. So decibel per kilometer we have seen, and there are different types of measuring the attenuation. You can measure in terms of decibels per kilometer, and I hope you have, if you have studied the digital switching systems, there you came across that the attenuation or the power loss can also be measured in terms of dBm and dBW. Okay, decibels in with respect to milliwatt, and dBW means the decibels with respect to watt. dBm means decibels with respect to milliwatt, means 1 milliwatt will be taken as a zero reference here. If you are measuring the attenuation in terms of decibels per kilometer, 0 dB will be taken as a reference. We know it with respect to graph. Similarly, dB means it is the decibels with respect to milliwatt. Means 1 milliwatt here will be taken as a zero reference. Like that. So another system of same length working in a second window of 47.5 microwatt. Same length system working in the third window has 50% launch power. Calculate the attenuation for each case. Mention the wavelength of operation. So three windows are there here. Dealing with the first window, P of 0 is given minus 38.2 dBm. First windows. That is equal to 10 log of P of Z by 1 milliwatt So 1 milliwatt we are getting because of dBm definition. Try to understand 1 milliwatt from where you are getting. It is not given in the problem. It is given here dBm decibels. You are measuring attenuation. You are measuring in terms of decibels with respect to 1 milliwatt as a reference. That's why we are taking 1 milliwatt here. So by solving this, we'll get P of Z as 0.151 microwatt. And for the first one, the optical link will going to wind up at Z equal to 10 kilometer. So using this one, alpha equal to 10, 1 by Z log again P of 0 by P of Z. Attenuation in the first window we are getting, that is alpha 1 I am going to call 10 1 by 10, because optical link involved for the first window will be 10 kilometer. Log of P of 0, it is given 150 microwatt, divided by P of Z. Just now we got it by the definition of dBm decibels with respect to 1 milliwatt as 1.15. We'll solve it for alpha 1, you get it as around 3 decibels per kilometer. Similarly, attenuation in second window, there is alpha 2 equal to 10 by 1 by 10, means 3 windows are there, 3 optical links successively situated at every 10 kilometers. In the next 10 kilometer window, that is second window, log of 150 microwatt only, but the power it has been given, it is 57.5 microwatt operating power in the second window, that you have to substitute here. So that you can get it as around 0.5 decibels per kilometer. Similarly, the attenuation in the third window, again 10 by 1 by 10, another next 10 kilometer window, and it is given 150 microwatt, 50% of the loss, 150 microwatt divided by 75, because 50% of the 150 you have to take, that is a P of Z. P of Z will be 150 you transmitted, P of Z he has given in the problem, it is 50% of the launched power. Here you can see 50% of the launch power, that is the P of Z is 50% of the P of 0, this one. You get alpha 3 will be 0.3 decibels. So why the attenuation is gone decreasing here, alpha you will take it as a 3 dB, alpha 2 will be 0.5 dB, and alpha 3 will be still reduced 0.3 dB per kilometer. It is happening because of the increasing the operating power in each of the successive windows, that has been increasing. Okay. So like that we have another similar problems. In the next class we will take a deep dive into these losses. Stop here.